Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, I was at the park. I thought, let me just come to my car and finish this conversation. So anyway, Abraham would eventually, him and Lot, they would, they would eventually, be together and everything like that. But then it came a time, I guess God was like, I'm ready to take you to the next place. Like this place, I'm telling you, like, I'm ready to keep moving you. You can't stop here. You can't, you got to go on. So, and apparently Lot and Abraham, they must have their camps got into an argument, maybe because their possessions got great, and it probably where they was, the land couldn't hold them. All that they had, the both of them and their families, Abraham was a man of prosperity. And, so they would have to part ways. So Abraham is like, look, which way you want to go? Do you want to go over here to the west, or you want to go east? But whichever way you want to go, I got to go the opposite way because I'm focused. I'm headed somewhere, and I can't let nothing get in my way. I love you, nephew. You know what I'm saying? And I want the best for you. We had some great times together and everything like that, but we're gonna have to part ways for the simple fact I got something to do. And I'm pretty sure he's like, yo, I've given you enough information. You had enough prosperity to where you can kind of just find your way, enough experience of being around him, And so Lot would choose Sodom and Gomorrah to live, to the direction to which he wanted to go in, And Abraham would choose the land of Canaan, which God had chose for him. And so it is apparent that sometimes, people ain't made to be on the same journey, and maybe somewhere along the way you can meet up again, or maybe it's just for, we are in we are in people's lives, and we're in each other's lives for a reason. So I said all that to say, and for a season, but of course Abraham would go to Canaan, and he would pitch his tent, and he would pitch his tent there. So he would pitch his tent there, and of course Lot would go to Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, whether Sodom and Gomorrah had wickedness already before Lot and his people got there, or rather they brought some ruckus, some more stuff that in that land, it doesn't really say. But it says that Sodom and Gomorrah, excuse me, was a wicked place, a lot of wickedness, a lot of, who knows, high crime, drug dealing, drug selling, prostitution, just all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or anything that you can put in the category of wickedness. People kidnapping people's murdering children, people selling kids, you know what I'm saying? Pedophilia, all that kind of stuff. Apparently, it was just something that's high, and when God called it wickedness, it is what it is, and you cannot take nothing out, because you're going to find all kind of stuff under wickedness, you know what I'm saying? And that's just evil, So Lot would end up going there and dwelling, him and his camp, and his family. And, Abraham is in the land of Canaan, so he's pitching his tent, and I think he built an altar there as well. So, I'm pretty sure Abraham was thinking about Lot, and Lot was thinking about Abraham, and Lot, apparently he didn't have a prayer life. He didn't have a prayer life. He didn't seek God to even go on he probably didn't even seek God to go with Abraham. He probably was like, yo, that's my peoples. I want to go with them, not knowing what was going to be in the midst of what, them intermingling like that. And he should have probably just been praying, asking God if he even knew God. Apparently he didn't, and apparently God didn't call him, but just because God didn't call him, that don't mean that God didn't have something for him. Maybe he didn't seek God. Maybe he just got caught up. Apparently he was on the path, with Abraham, and he, knew that it was something about Abraham was different. And even more different because when he chose to go on this journey with him, but whatever it was that he was supposed to capture hold on with Abram, being with him as they left their own country and being on a journey together, and then them separating, whatever it is that he was supposed to learn, that get from Abram, he didn't get it. And whatever it is, because, Abram was an example, Abram is older than he was, had to be, and it's his family, you know what I'm saying? He's entrusted into his care in a sense, So, but they, of course, them parting ways, that would eventually help them. That would eventually, let Lot know, like, dude, you in this on your own, you know what I'm saying? So he goes into this country, and Abraham, I guess God let him know, or maybe word came like, yo, they got so much stuff going down there and in there. And Lot is down there with him and his wife and his children and his daughters, and his camp is down there, and they all intermingling and all this kind of stuff. And so God gonna let Abraham know, like, yo, I'm getting ready to destroy this city because these people is not, they just doing all kind of stuff, and your peoples is down in there, and I want you to, I want to let you know what I'm about to do. And so Abram is praying, he's like, yo, God is getting ready to destroy this place where my peoples is at. You know what I'm saying? I want my peoples to be destroyed, they had business, all these families that was connected to Lot, and then was also connected to Abraham as well, nobody wants anything to happen to their family, even if you gotta some part ways. Family is family. You don't want nothing bad to happen to your family. People argue, people get into arguments, but when you really think about it, it's like, yo, I don't want nothing to happen to my family. I'm sorry we gotta part ways or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I still want you to be well. So God is letting Abram know, like, look, I'm about to destroy this place. So Abram begins to pray, like, he's asking God, if I could find 100 people in here, in this city, will you not destroy it? God said, look, if you could find them, I won't destroy the city. I guess he found out that it wasn't 100 people. And the number just went down from 100. I'm not really sure about the exact number, but it went from a high number to a low number. So 100, then you go down to 50 people, then you go down to 25 people. By the time you get to 25 people, you like, there's in this whole town, in this whole country, there's not 20 people that's righteous, within their hearts and want to do the right thing, to say, you want to know what? God have mercy and say, I'm not even going to destroy these people. There was not even them found. He's like, yo, is it 10 people? Is it 10 people that if I find 10 people, will you not destroy this land? He's like, yo, if you find 10 people, I won't even do it. Couldn't find 10. Lot. So God just said, you want to know what? sorry, dude, ain't no 10, but I know you love your family, and I know your family came on this journey with you, and I'm willing to spare them, because God said he'll save your whole household. That's over in the New Testament. If you live right, I'll save your whole household. So Abraham he was on track with the Lord. He was on track with God. So God had mercy. And it's like, look, I know Lot down there caught up with him, whether he was doing whatever down there or whether he was just maintaining and trying to find a way out. Like, he might have not even known God. You know what I'm saying? He might have been thinking, I'm down here, I don't even know what's going on. I started out with my uncle Abraham, and look at me, I'm down here, I chose this place, I don't really know. It really doesn't say. But apparently he got caught up in the land and the stuff that was going on in the land. Like I said, whether he was living there or he was a part of it, or his wife, or maybe his daughters, a lot of stuff was going on in that country. And so God would say, you know what? I'm going to spare them. So God sends these angels down there to, they got their mission. They already got their orders. They already know what they came to do. They really was sent down there for Abraham and his family. And so God, and all his grace and all his mercy and all his love, I tell you, he's just so awesome. He was sending those angels, and those angels would go first. They're in the square, you know what I'm saying? Because they already scoping out what's going on. They already know what they pretty much done got their orders from God. So they scoping out, the scenery. And these people in here talking about, oh yeah, they want the angels. So Abraham is like, look, y'all ain't got to be out there with them, because Abraham know what's going on in this city. And he know these people didn't even belong in the country. He probably can look at them and tell, like, these some new people. They different. They stand out. Wait a minute. And apparently he has some kind of something in his heart, and he's like, yo, y'all could come in here, you could come into my crib, you ain't got to be out there in the square, because if you be out there, no telling what you gonna get mixed up with. And so he invites the angels into his house, and they're in there. And then the people, apparently, the devil, he know God's people. He know who is of God. He know. And these people was like, yo, we want these two men that you have. They banging on Lot's door. We want these two men that's new in the city that came in. We want them. And Lot is like, no, like, you can't have them. These is my guests. I want to show them some love and everything like that. Show them that it is somebody in this city that ain't all about being wicked. Ain't all about all of the stupid stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't down with that. They could come here, they welcome here, and we're gonna treat them like people supposed to be treated, like you would treat a visitor. They like, no, we want those men. These is other men, you know what I'm saying, banging on their door. He like, you can have my daughters. They like, no, we don't want your daughters, we want them. And I guess the Lord done spoke to them angels, and them angels like, yo, y'all got to get out of here, because basically we was sent here for a mission. And God, wherever you welcome God, God will come. And Abraham welcomed them angels in, and that was God's way of showing them. Not Abraham. Lot welcomed those angels, and that was God's way of showing Lot that, you know what, my grace and mercy is sufficient, and so that the angels told him, look, y'all need to leave, because destruction about to fall. So I'm pretty sure they trying to scramble whatever, but yo, sometimes you can't be scrambled. You got to leave everything behind, because guess what, when God got you on something, and he got something for you, you got to move, and so he gets his family, and they're like leaving. And these angels is like, they know they mission. They sent to do the work of God. They know what they were sent there to do. And so Abraham and his wife and his daughter, I mean, not Abraham, Lot and his wife and his daughters, they would leave. And I imagine, they probably like, why we got to leave? Maybe the daughters was like, you know what? We tired of this anyway. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that was going on in that place, they probably was tired too. But you know what? Lot's wife, a little bit different. Cause, she would eventually, when the angels told him that they needed to leave, and he was like, you need not to look back. Lot's wife, she would eventually look back. And when she did look back, she looked and she turned to a pillar of salt. And I said all this to say, sometimes good people get caught up into things that ought not to be. I mean, I don't believe that it was God's will that she died like that, or she died, on the way out of the city, but she couldn't let it go. That's a sign that let us know that she couldn't let go of the past. Whatever she had, she might have had a business there. She might have had friends there. She might have had people that she, was trying to talk to them or something, you know what I'm saying, that she was connected to that kind of had her heart, and stuff like that. You meet people and you just like, oh, they friendly or whatever. That don't mean they treat you well, but they still got their own little wicked stuff going on, but God don't want you to be connected to that. And so I don't know, maybe she could have had some people that was just living a lifestyle that God just wasn't pleased with. He like, you can't get caught up in that. That's not why you came on this journey anyway. You supposed to come on this journey because guess what? I have something for y'all too as well. Even though they was living in a wicked city, but it was like God was leading them somewhere. But she looked back because she couldn't let go. And what she saw God in all his power, destroying that city. And she just turned into a statue. She was stuck right there. Like, so I said all that to say, we can't hold on to the past. We can't hold on to things that's not meant to be in our lives. I can imagine she's probably the whole way. Lot is trying to tell her, look, we gotta go. She's like, questioning him. I don't know why we gotta go. I don't understand why we just gotta leave and we gotta pick up. And maybe she was saying, we already had to leave Abram and our kinsmen, and then you chose for me to come down here, and I can't have my life and I can't live. And I done met some people in her eyes that's pretty decent along the way, and guess what, this is where I want to be settled. And sometimes it's hard to pull people from that mindset, especially when God have something else for you. And so on the way, I mean, she would turn to a pillar of salt, and I can only imagine that had to hurt Lot, and his daughters, you know what I'm saying, for their mother, to just be destroyed, along the way. She didn't die in the city. She died on the outskirts of the city, but God let them know, like, this is what these people is going to be. Basically, you're looking at the example of when you don't, turn from the wicked way, this is what you're going to be, and I can only imagine that hurt him and his family. But life do go on, and we have to get in a place where when God is calling us, we have to enlarge our tents. We have to enlarge our hearts, the within, because God is already within us. The kingdom is already within us, and he wants to show us that I have so many great things for you, so many great things for you. There's so many things I want to do for you. I want to bless you. I want to show you these things because guess what? We only got this one life to live on this end, because we are going to go to another life, but right here on earth, get it while it's good, you know. And apparently, like I said, some people just don't get it, you know. And he spared Abraham. I mean, he spared Lot and his daughters, and he would have spared the wife. And he really did spare her, but she just chose to just, you know, keep her mindset in the past and not move forward, you know. So I just come to you guys just to say that was on my heart, you know, mainly that story, you know, but going back, what really I really love about it is that Abraham set out on a path of which God would have told him, and he did not let on that way. He on his way to that where God was calling him. He ain't let nothing get in his way. Of course, he would come a long way where king. He would come into this. I guess he was a pharaoh or a king. He would have other challenges. You know, he would have other things that he would, you know, gonna go through. You know, and that is us in this life. You know, we will have things that we're going to go through, other things we're going to go through. Seem like sometimes you go through one test, here is another one, you know, but in that, God is building our faith, building us, you know, letting us know that we can trust him no matter what it looked like, no matter what nobody say. If you don't have the resources, if you know, trouble is in the land, you know, we just have to trust God. And if God be for you, who can be against you? You know, so I just love the story of the story in the life of Abraham, you know, and how God changed, well, he was Abram, but how God would change his name and stuff like that to Abraham. And you know, eventually, you know, he would have a child, and being an old man, him and his wife was old, and he's looking at God like, you gonna give me this child? I'm old, you know. But eventually he would have a child. He would have 2 kids, but the way that God set it out to do it, he didn't do it the way God had set it out for him. He took it in his own hands somewhere where his wife did. We women sometimes we can just be so nosy, and we need to just mind our business. That's why I try to stay focused, you know. But Abraham basically, you know, God was pleased with something about him, his righteousness, the right thing that he had in his heart he wanted to do right by God regardless. And that's the thing that God look at. Like, I know things is in our hearts and be in our path, but do you really want to do right by me, or you just going to do whatever it is that you want to do? And that's why Abraham would be the father of he would be classified and known as the father of faith, because he found his faith in God, and God expanded him, and he was a rich man, a very rich man, and he exceeded, and it passed down to his son, you know, Isaac, you know. And you know, so God is a good God. That's what I came on here to really say, you know. And if you're on a path and you're searching for God, or you're searching whatever it is that you're searching for, you know, I would just say, make sure that you have God in your life. God could be the universe for some people. You know, some people say the universe. Some people say all kind of stuff. You know, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus, and I believe in the Holy Spirit, you know. And I will just say, seek it out. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be open unto you. You know, so if you're seeking, whatever it is you're seeking, just try to, you know, have God in your life. You know, you can never go wrong. I always say that. And I just wanted to be a blessing. I hope I said something to encourage someone. And I hope it just found you in a place in your life where you probably needed some answers and you needed to share.